Okay, behind me is another tree, which is on your list, which is Taxodium distichum. Taxodium distichum. Now you look at it, you can see that it's a conifer. It's a coniferous tree, but it's unusual. It's unusual in that it loses its leaves in the winter. It's deciduous or semi-deciduous conifer, which is a little bit unusual. There's lots of the foliage on the ground here, which I can show you. You know what it looks like, right? With these lots of little leaflets. Taxodium distichum. Now, Taxodium distichum is a really interesting tree. Actually, it comes from Florida, and it grows in the Florida Everglades and some of the other southern states, the southern states of the United States. And it is called in English the swamp cypress because it can actually grow in water. So it's one of the very few trees that actually stand in a big swamp and grow in the water. These, they can also grow away from water, which is exactly what we see here. When it's actually in the water, it will start to produce these kind of funny knobs. Right? You can see these sort of knobs that stick up out of the water. Right? The root system. This is nothing. These are just very rudimentary ones. Right? It doesn't actually need to do this in this situation. It's not in the water. But when it's in the water, it produces loads and loads of these funny knobs sticking out of the water. And that may be a way of the root system getting air, because the root system has to have air to grow, and that's why 99.9% of trees cannot grow in the water, because because the root systems get waterlogged. But this species is adapted to growing in a swamp situation. Taxodium distichum.
But how come it can live here when it's so very, very dry? But it's normally
well, of course, in the summer it's not so dry. Right? In the summer it's wet everywhere. But I don't know exactly. It can adapt. It can adapt to a drier environment. Although specific adaptation is for a swamp environment, and it can grow elsewhere. And it's also a species that can grow here in Hong Kong and in London and in Shanghai. It can grow in cooler climates as well. So this is one species that you'll see in Shanghai and possibly a bit further north than that. I'm not sure about Beijing, but Taxodium distichum.